Sleepers Podcast, Tuesday, March 17th. NCAA tournament week upon us. Sleep in our bed, achieved. How are you?
Sleep in bed, achieved, feeling great, feeling refreshed. Looking forward to really diving into the bracket. I was able to do a little bit, right? But as you know, there's a first day dive, there's a first night dive, there's that dive that after you have a bagel in the morning, like, do I want to look at that region one more time? Maybe I need to go back to that pod. Ooh, this tweet got me. Ooh, a tweet. Ooh, I saw film. You got to go back to the bracket. So I'm very excited for it.
How you feeling after you've had one night to sleep with the bracket?
I feel absolutely amazing. I'm also a different person now, and that needs to be addressed at the forefront here. Greg, I got an ice maker for my birthday.
You got an ice maker. It's a nice reveal. What are you going to be making ice for?
I mean, well, got iced coffee, but it's like one of those like pellet ones, like the Jimmy John's ice.
It makes the Jimmy John's ice.
Yeah, it makes like pellet ice cubes, ice things.
All you've ever wanted is to make your own Jimmy John's ice.
Yeah, honestly, yes. All I ever wanted it. Like, and now my madness is underway.
Can we get a visual for those cubes? Can you show off one of these cubes?
I don't know if you can get in there or not.
Yeah, it's not really working.
Dude,
Okay, yeah, I see it. There we go. Yeah, it kind of looks like Pierre turds in ice form.
listen, you're not 33, so you don't get it. Once you have these type of ice cubes in your life, you'll understand.
Okay. Well,
Also, hold on. Now just wait a gosh darn rootin' tootin' second here. I know you're a Diet Coke connoisseur. You love a good DC, right?
yeah.
DC with the pellet ice is special.
Well, I can't wait to try some pellet ice when I get to your house at roughly 6:30 p.m. on Friday before a flight to the West Coast.
Oh, let me tell you, that Jack and D with the pellet ice,
Yeah, the triple J and D with the pellet ice on the ride to the airport. It's gonna be great.
probably quad.
Gonna be great. All right. Well, yeah, I'm glad you're feeling good. I think you look well rested. I certainly feel well rested. I
How
got like
are my eyes?
they look great. I
Yeah,
got like 6 hours of sleep, but it felt like 15 hours of sleep in the bed at home. It was great.
yeah. I think I ended up actually falling asleep around 1, which is a lot later than I wanted to, but still, just incredible shower into bed combo.
They never talk about that with filling out brackets, though. I know there's so many people in our industry who are just like immediately at work. Like, we go live to Seth Davis, who's picked every game in 7 minutes already. Like, one of the more underrated parts of filling out a bracket is you got to sleep with the bracket.
Yeah,
You got to have a one night stand with the bracket, and then you got to look her in the face in the morning and see what she looks like.
yeah. Would usually like the way you got to do it is like no protection either, like just straight up with the bracket.
Right. Like, one way or another, once you sleep with the bracket, you've got to confront what you slept with. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes, for me, just speaking for me personally, almost had Cal Baptist beating Kansas. Now I'm waking up like, wait a second here. I'm glad I slept with that one. You
How
know,
you don't in the bracket?
you gotta sleep with her first, right?
Of course,
Right,
of course.
right,
We all know that, right?
right. But at the same time, don't save your bracket for marriage because you can't wait till Thursday.
Can't.
You can't. It's the right time to formalize your bracket picks is like mid Monday afternoon.
That's very true. Can I get one more bracket feeler out for you here?
Yes.
Have you had any of your friends who don't necessarily consume college basketball to the level that you do ask you to help them fill out a bracket?
No.
So I got like two of those today.
Really?
And I usually help like I usually help out like my mother-in-law and my father-in-law with like their office pools. To which they did win last year, which was massive for me as a son-in-law. Great son-in-law year for me. I was got off to a good start. But it's a lot of pressure to do that. There's a lot of pressure to do that. They expect you to deliver heat, and it's not the way madness goes.
I could see that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, are,
I'm also off to an awful start in my madness games. Destroyed in the Big Ten Players Draft.
yeah, win for me, thanks to a Namari Burnett blown layup, which had me in hell at the moment. But
Win for sleepers.
yeah, it was a win for sleepers. You get to claim that win as well. Yeah, are you gonna trick people? The people that want your help, are you gonna pull any fast ones on them, or are you gonna give them real analysis?
Depends. Depends. I'm definitely gonna review where we're at and where we stand as compadres.
Like, depends on which friend.
Yeah, like I mean, on Leon's first birthday, did I get like a 1 week follow up or like I'm definitely a like what have you done for me guy.
If I ask you for help filling out my bracket, would you give me real help? Where do I slot on your friend scale?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Would you give me real help?
I would think it's weird you're asking me for help, and I would think something's up.
So then you wouldn't, or it'd be sabotage.
No, I mean if I got to the point where it was real help, I would give you real help, but I'd be really concerned that you were asking me for help.
Let's just submit each other's brackets. You do mine and I'll do yours.
That would be kind of funny, actually.
Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, I'm down.
I'm kind of game for that. Yeah.
Good bit.
Speaking of March games, we have some March games that we're making available to the Discord. Go check them out. We sent the info in there. I did technically send my first Discord message in like 3 months from the Sleepers Discord account. I forgot we still have the Sleepers Media Discord login. So I got in there just to make sure that we make those available to everybody. There's a bracket contest, very traditional, that is run through Run Your Pool. There's also a Survivor contest that is run through Run Your Pool. $400 prize straight from our pockets for that one, for both of those. If you win either the bracket challenge or the Survivor pool, win the $400 prize. If you are looking for the links to those, they are in the Sleepers Discord in the March Madness channel. So you technically have to be in the Discord in order to be able to participate in those, but free to play once you are in there. The one qualifier in order to be eligible to win the prize, we do need you guys to work with our friends at Stakeholder.
Mm.
Stakeholder has a third March game for you. They are running what they're calling Market Madness, which is basically a contest on stakeholder.com in which they are going to give out their own prizes based on who ends up trading most successfully on stakeholder.com. Again, stakeholder.com is where you can buy and sell real college basketball team tokens as if it was the stock market. Buy low, sell high, buy high, sell low, do whatever you want to do. But as teams perform and as other transactions happen, you get those prices changing and you can possibly make some real money on stakeholder.com. So they are running it from it starts today, so yesterday by the time you hear this, Monday, March 16th until the tournament ends. And at the end of it, the top 10 traders with the highest performance will end up receiving cash prizes. I believe the first place cash prize is $430. And then second and third place prizes 150 and 75. So there's a third fun game for you. You got the bracket contest from us, the Survivor pool from us, Market Madness from Stakeholder. All three of those you can get the info from in our Discord. And then the only thing in order to be eligible to win the prizes for the first two, you have to complete a Stakeholder account, just sign up. And there's a link in the Sleepers Discord that counts back to Sleepers so that they know that we sent you there. All you do when you do that, it's free to make an account. You'll just basically plug in info and password, but you get $25 in free credit at stakeholder.com as well. So the steps are that simple, Cart. Be in the Sleepers Discord, sign up for a Stakeholder account, get $25 free credit with the Sleepers link, play the March games, and if you win, you'll get $400 or more in prizes based on which of these three contests you win.
And yes, I will be participating.
Will you?
I will be participating. And on that note, put your money where your mouth is.
Oh,
A lot of people talking about I know more than Cart. Maybe you do.
wow.
Got a spot for you to prove it, Bubba's. Step up to the plate.
Wow. Okay. Card has issued a challenge.
I'm Juan Soto.
Okay.
You're Scooble.
I don't want to be Scooble ever again.
Well, not you, but the people who are challenging me are Scooble.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you want to go to comments? Do you have anything else for us?
I do not. I would love to get the comments if you are able to facilitate that space for me.
Wait, what?
I would love to get to the comments if you are able to facilitate that space for me.
Oh, yeah, go.
Thank you. This comment comes from Spirit of the Game. These vlogs are special. A lot of good feedback on the vlog. Shout out to JK doing good work with the vlogs. Um, JK, he's special weekend for him, man. Special weekend for him. He did great work making everything come to life. Um, my favorite part of this weekend was that JK did realize the power his iPhone holds.
Yeah, JK probably the biggest winner of the weekend. He put on a genuinely
Outside of
great
Purdue.
performance.
Outside of Purdue.
He had a Purdue level victory week, though, I think.
That's true. That's definitely fair.
It
Sorry.
was honestly very similar. Like the JK we've known all year, it was a new JK. It was like, where was this? That I had the same feeling watching Purdue and watching JK operate.
Where, where's this JK been? Where's this Purdue been?
It's like that's really awesome. Why don't you do that all the time?
Yeah. And maybe they will.
And hey, the banners were won on both sides.
That make you paint?
I guess so, yeah. Does that make you Trey?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, anywho, over to the Discord. Please join the Discord. Discord is $9.99 a month. And like Gregory stated, if you want to participate in these March games, gotta get the Discord with it. So please join the Discord. Great way to support us. You also get your comments read every single day on the show. We will start today with Clem, who says, now that it's official that Kim English is out of Providence, who should the Providence look to hire? Also, where do you guys think Kim English ends up next season?
I don't have a good feel.
I don't have a good feel either. I did see like a lot of Patino stuff, Richard that is, from Xavier, but like I don't know, Xavier was also bad this year, so like that's what you want to do. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I'll leave that up to the Big East royalty that is John Fanta. He'll tell me what's right. Um, Ilarex says, at risk of being told to STFU, it's by the same token, not on the same token. I've been trying to ignore it because it's not a huge deal, but I'm not gonna lie, it gets said a lot. Are we saying that?
Unless I'm wrong, I think it's you saying that.
Is it?
You have quite a few of those like one word off isms.
I'm a one word off human being.
I enjoy it.
I think everything about me is just one off.
My favorite is still that you pronounce windmill. It makes
Windmill?
me laugh every time.
Windmill?
Windmill.
It's windmill, right?
You say windmill
I say windmill?
every time.
Yeah. Words be beating my ass. Also, y'all are killing it in Chi-Town. Nice work, fellas. Appreciate
Thank you.
that. Thank you, sir. War chant. Lots of pressure on Brad Underwood the first weekend of the NCAA tournament, much more than a year ago.
Yes, agreed. Warchan is like just preying on his own team's downfall, I feel like, man.
Hilarious. Monovich, at what age is it too old to wear a backwards hat?
Ooh, that feels like a shot.
That does feel like a shot.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an age on when you can wear. I like wearing backwards hats.
I definitely wear them forwards more than I used to, but
I mean, look, this is actually isn't a made up quote. My uncle did used to say this. Don't worry about the next man's brim. He was a hat guy. He owned a hat store. He said, don't worry about another man's brim.
yeah.
Some want it flat, some want it curved. Yeah. Is what it is.
Yeah, I don't plan on stopping wearing my hat backward anytime soon.
As you shouldn't. War chant, special day reaching Francon 9. Seed be damned, want to match up against Iowa. Instead of the struggling Illini to have to deal with Fran, Power going to have to score 37 against the Illini. I want to see Francon 1. And we have the Francon alert system. It's been a while.
Is Fran like historically good against Brad Underwood?
No, I don't think so. But also, like we're talking about Fran in an NCAA tournament setting with Penn.
it's like a fun matchup, but yeah, I think we've jumped the shark a little bit if it's like, oh, that's unfortunate. We drew Fran McCaffrey in the NCAA tournament, you know?
Yeah.
Fran McCaffrey and then Hubert Davis without his best player.
Yeah,
What an awful draw.
but it's in South Carolina.
Oh no.
Oh no. Anywho, T Steffi, hey guys, love the live stream coverage and the vlogs. Hope you do something similar in Indy, and I can swing by and meet y'all. Another chapter in the legendary book of sleepers. Good luck in the tournament, my dudes.
Appreciate that. Are we going to reveal the indie plan yet?
Should we review the LA plan before the Indy plan?
We'll do similar in Indy.
Do similar, yes.
Similar to how Chicago went this week, it will happen in Indianapolis. Just without a Bub City. We do not have a Bub City right now, but we might have a venue. We don't know. We're working
I
on
don't
it.
know, but it'll be not. Can't wait. It's gonna be fun though, for sure. You guys will be looped in on those plans. Um, T Steffi once again. Hey guys. Anyways, good game, Greg. Really entertaining game. Wish you were in there because it would have been fun as hell to go back and forth with you. Do you think the belt to ass bit caused the basketball gods to give you a dose of karma, or was that the Michigan Monstars gave Purdue their talent back?
No, I don't think that it was my fault that Purdue played great. I do own that it was a bad look, but man, I think you got to realize I'm a fan. We're fans that make content for fans, and sometimes I think you got to let us be fans. And I fanned. That's what I did. I went full fan in a moment where I was really confident. Don't let that happen too much. I mean, my bit for the first 3 months of this year was picking against Michigan every game. So I went the other direction here. Wish I didn't, but I did. Purdue played great. I don't think that had anything to do with me. Some people in the comments were like, the players watch your stuff. Real smart, Greg. It's like, you're giving me way too much credit, man. They even if they do watch the stuff, they weren't like motivated to beat Michigan because of me. That's not how this works.
You motivate me.
I mean, like maybe Braden is like, I'm gonna get you back. Like the next time we do a pod with him, that would be deserved. But Braden was already at max motivation for this, man.
Yeah, rip the jersey. Fam. T Steffi, gonna have to fly out to LA after missing out in Chicago for the meetup weekend to make up for some ground in the Sleepers network just to prove he cares. After Friday, he's on my hot seat. Cool throne of Sleepers fans is TJ. Shout out my dude. Thanks again for putting a fun string of events together. Let's run it back next year.
Who's on the hot seat? Who was the first one?
T Steffi's on the hot seat.
T Staffy. Yeah, I would have loved to see T Staffy for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But T Steph was active in the chat. I did appreciate that. Um, War Chant, Evan Mia has Michigan 31.4% to win the title. Wow, that's crazy. That's just like the 4% worse than hitting the flush when you have a flush draw on the flop in Texas Hold'em poker terms. I see the Illini are 2.2%. That's about right. Do do you really think Michigan has that good of odds of winning it all? Any other takeaways?
Ooh, poker. Whoa, card game.
Ooh, you got an ace of spades?
No, I don't think the odds are that good. But I love Evan Mia, and I am certainly happy that his model thinks Michigan has that high of a chance.
Can I ask you who you think was the first person to respond to this comment?
I don't know.
Ryan the Lion.
Very nice.
This is why analytics are stupid. 50% chance to make a championship is wild.
Thank you, Ryan, for your always objective analysis.
GSG. Arkansas, Wisconsin is such a fun potential matchup I never knew I needed until now. Big facts.
Yeah, I'm still really mad about it.
Isaiah from NYC. Hey, Cart, handle your business and I'll handle mine. I'll see you in the Elite Eight, little bro.
You just got a little bro. That's tough.
That's fair. I'll see you there.
You
Fry y'all
you
boys
would
up.
love to see them there.
I would love to see St. John's there. I fry them boys up the Aki way.
Also, one game at a time. That's Michigan
Right.
State's mantra is one game at a time.
Look,
Now it's St.
make,
John's in the Elite Eight.
make a Sweet 16. You ain't done it last year, did you? Never, never, never. Don't forget the score. Anywho, AG, 2 words, Robbie Avila.
Yeah, no, I'm scared. I don't like it. I don't like the draw. I'm afraid of Robbie Avila in a big way. But that's balanced out a little bit by the fact that Aiden Holloway's in jail right now. He's actually in jail right now, like right this second.
Listen, Aiden Caldwell Pope is coming out with a vengeance. All right, we'll be fine. Um, let's see here. Last one. Monovich says it's Miller time.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Huh.
That does it for the comments today.
Okay. Great job, comments. Honestly, felt like a light day of comments for post-selection Sunday Discord comments.
Yeah, I think Discord's locked in and channel specific breakdowns and also a lot of good March Madness traction as far as going back and forth with that.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Good. Great. Should we get to the show?
Ooh, yeah.
All right, you're up first. Every single pick of Carter Elliott's bracket, please begin.
Okay. Are there any ground rules that I should know before going into this?
I'd like you to just pick every single game and give roughly 5 to 10 seconds of analysis where appropriate.
Okay. I think I'm capable of that.
Okay.
Let me, let me go ahead. Pull up
As
my,
you pull this up, I do have to ask, have you filled out a bracket yet?
uh, okay. Why is there sound going on? Say that again.
Have you filled out a bracket before this very moment right here?
No, I want to fill it out in front of everyone. Why would I
So
fill it
so you're not unveiling your bracket. You are literally doing this for the first time right now.
while in the process of unveiling it?
Okay, hard.
Starting in the East. Spending all my days on the East Side. Oh. Duke over Siena. I really don't have to go into that any deeper, to be honest with you. Ohio State, TCU. Interesting matchup. TCU, I like the pieces on that team. Your maybe future player, David Punch, I think is one of the best or one of the more underrated players in the country. Really good shot blocker, rebounder, scorer. I do think that Ohio State has a matchup for him with a guy like Devin Royal, so I feel good about that. I think that Ohio State guards get him across the finish line, and Bruce Thornton gets his first tournament win in his first tournament appearance. Moving down, we have St. John's taking on Northern Iowa. Now, I've seen a lot of chatter about Northern Iowa being a fun pick in this one. I just don't think they'll be able to overcome the physicality that is Zuby Ejiofor, Dylan Mitchell, and Bryce Hopkins. So it might be an ugly one, but I think St. John's advances in that spot. Moving on down here, we have Kansas taking on Cal Baptist. I'm gonna take Kansas to advance in that basketball game. Bill Self getting his team locked in for March, and I want to see Kansas St. John's in that second game. I think it'll be fun. Moving down here, once again, we have Louisville taking on South Florida. South Florida is one that I wanted to push through right away when I looked at this. I still want to go South Florida here. I think the physicality that they can bring, the athleticism that they can bring. Michael Brown, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? If he does play, is he going to be at full health? I think they do need him to make a run in this tournament. And also, I'm a sucker for stories. Uh, South Florida coach Brian Hodgson, his father has dementia, has never seen him get to play. They get drawn to Buffalo. He lives in Buffalo. He will be at the game. That's going to be an awesome thing for them. Really, really awesome. And even before that, I just like what South Florida can do from a physicality standpoint. So there's your first upset of this region of my bracket. Moving down, Michigan State versus North
All
Dakota
right.
State.
All right.
Um, Michigan State advances in that basketball game. I think they beat them up on the glass. Um, and defend, rebound, run your way to the second game. Moving down there, UCLA, 7 seed taking on UCF. The health concerns, no pun intended here, concern me for UCLA. They do. Um, I'm gonna pick UCF in this game. I'm gonna pick UCF in this basketball game. I think that they are the healthier team. I think that they can shoot the ball extremely well, and I do think that the UCLA offense that has been I guess, prevalent as of late. I don't know if it's going to happen as well as it should if Donovan Dent is banged up, to be honest with you. So I'll take UCF in that game. And then UConn and Furman, UConn. I'm not going to get cute here. Not gonna. I don't think I'm going to get cute with any of the 15s over the twos. So I will go UConn in that matchup.
Okay.
You want me to just go through the whole East and then you go through?
Yeah, I'm topic two today. This is your whole bracket.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Staying in the East then. We have Duke taking on Ohio State. I blinked at this one. And then I stopped blinking and I picked Ohio State. I'm kidding. I picked Duke in this one. I think Duke will just be able to overwhelm them. A front court of Cam Boozer and I'm guessing Pat Nagaba, Malik Brown. I don't think Christoph Tilly and those guys have anything for that. And I think the perimeter defense and length is really going to bother Mobley and Bruce Thornton, who aren't necessarily the most physically imposing guards. Moving down, St. John's taking on Kansas. I like the front court. I mean, Flory versus Zuby is fun. Zuby versus Kansas, really, really fun. I'm going to take Kansas to win this basketball game. I think we are in for a Darren Peterson run. And even if it's not just Darren Peterson, I think that the Darren Peterson, Trey White, just guard combination, guard wing combo, Melvin Council, I just think they're straight up better than St. John's guards and wings options. So I'm going to take Kansas in that basketball game. St. John's, once again, does not make the second weekend. South Florida taking on Michigan State. Interesting matchup given the physicality that South Florida can bring and the up and down tempo they can bring. I am going to pick Michigan State in that basketball game. As long as they are connected and we don't see that defensive performance that we saw against UCLA, I think they can defend at a high enough level to get themselves to the Sweet 16. Love the draw from Michigan State if it plays out this way. Moving on, we have UCF taking on UConn. I'm higher on UConn than you. Maybe not high on them overall, but I'm higher on UConn than you. I think UConn gets past UCF in that second round game and moves on to the Sweet 16. Going back to the top here, we have Duke taking on Kansas. A lot of scenes here. Like the way this is played out. I think Duke beats Kansas in this game. I think that the defense of Duke is on another level right now. They can truly suffocate teams. And I don't like who Kansas has the matchup with Cameron Boozer. I don't. I think he'll feast in here. I think they can do pick and rolls with him. They can switch Tiller on him. I just don't think they'll be able to hang with him. I got Duke winning that game and advancing to the Elite Eight. In the bottom part of this, I have Michigan State taking on UConn. Uh, it's a very interesting matchup. Hurley versus Izzo. Obviously, a lot of great coaches that get to the Elite Eight in this section. I'm sorry, the Sweet 16 in this section. I I think that UConn picks off Michigan State in this game.
Oh,
I do think that UConn gets them in this game. I think that Hurley's going to have his guys playing at a really, really high level. I think that they'll be able to get enough shot making from Solomon Ball and Braylon Mullins. Solomon Ball is going to be big in this tournament. That's really going to really help determine, I think, where this team goes. Caravan's of winner. This is the last run for him in this tournament. I think it's going to be a battle. I think we might be in for a classic, but I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to UConn. And then I'm going to have Duke versus UConn in the Elite Eight. Duke wins by 25
okay. Is
matchup.
part of UConn Michigan State is part of that at all that you have seen it before? I mean, it was an exhibition, but
Yeah.
that was a pretty enticing performance from UConn against Michigan State in that
It
meaningless
definitely
game.
was. Yeah, it definitely was. Now, definitely different aspects of the team. Mainly just fears is different from that
Yeah.
game, but it definitely did play a factor, and we have seen that before. So I have Duke advancing to the Final Four in the East region. I am going to just go down here. I'm actually going to go to the South next. I'm going to go Florida. They will advance versus either 16 Lehigh or Prairie View A&M. I think they will take on Iowa in the next game. Iowa's taking on Clemson. I'm going to take Iowa to win.
Whoa, you're taking Ben McCollum to win a tournament game? You?
I'm taking Ben McCollum to win a tournament game. I think that the loss of Carter Welling is big for Clemson. And I think that the style that Iowa plays, they can force turnovers. They're going to play extremely slow. Bennett Sturts, he can win games in March. We saw that last year. I got to give him credit for that. He has the ability to do so. I think they win one game against a Clemson team that is down a starter.
Wow. Okay.
Moving down here, we have Vanderbilt taking on McNeese. I'll probably end up switching to McNeese by Thursday, but I'm picking Vanderbilt right now. I'm gonna
Okay.
pick Vanderbilt right now to advance. Moving down, Nebraska taking on Troy. I was so ready to pick Troy. You did convince me last night a little bit, Gregory, but I still am going to take Troy in this matchup. I'm not a fan of how Nebraska played down the stretch, to be honest with you, and I think that with time to prepare for Nebraska, this might sound weird. I feel if Nebraska gets to the second game, I think I'm putting them through to the Sweet 16. I think because preparing for them on short notice, I think is really really tough. But I think Troy's going to have some time to prepare for Nebraska here. And they'll be able to operate on the wing a little bit. They have some stretch bigs and wings that can operate out there. So I'm going to pick Troy in that matchup. And Nebraska's first win eludes them in the NCAA tournament. In the next game, North Carolina taking on VCU. Another one where I look at VCU and I really want them to advance. I think I am going to pick VCU in this one. I do think Baysar has an advantage down low in this basketball game. But I love the guards on this VCU team. They have the best guards in this game. Nick Lewis, Terrence Hill, they have really, really good guard play. I think they're going to have a hard time stopping VCU and just honestly do him ball or any pick and roll coverage, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go ahead and take VCU in that basketball game. Illinois taking on Fran McCaffrey and Penn. Illinois alt line minus 32. I'm sick of the cute narratives around this game. Illinois is going to win this game. I feel amazing about that, and that's not anything crazy. They're favored by 20 for a reason. Then we have St. Mary's taking on Texas A&M. Interesting matchup, kind of differing style. St. Mary's kind of slow, lethargic, defense, defense, defense. Bucky ball, not scared of my own shadow, 94 feet. I'm gonna take Texas A&M in that game. I don't think that St. Mary's wants to play fast. I don't think that they want to play a game that is up and down and fast like Texas A&M wants to play. And the thing about Texas A&M is you can't really slow them down. They do whatever they need to do to speed the game up. I think they will be able to speed St. Mary's up. So I like Texas A&M in that matchup. And then we have Houston taking on Idaho. I have Houston in that matchup, even though I'm a big time Vandal guy. Shout out to the potatoes. Going back to the top here, we have Florida taking on Iowa. I think that Florida just destroys Iowa. They don't do well with athletic, big, physical front courts. I will take Florida in that game. I have Vanderbilt taking on Troy. I'm going to take Vanderbilt to advance in that game. Commodores make a run, go to the Sweet 16 for a rematch with Florida. Then we have VCU, Illinois. I have Illinois pretty big in that game as well. Love the draw for Illinois in these first two games. I do. So we'll go Illinois to advance over VCU, and then I have Houston advancing over Texas A&M to go to the Sweet 16. Moving back to the top here, Florida taking on Vanderbilt in the rematch. If I took away anything from that Arkansas Vanderbilt game yesterday, it's that if you are a guard, you can look at Tyler Tanner and some of the guards on this Vanderbilt team and see food. I think Boogie and Xavier can do it. I think they can. So I'm gonna take Florida to advance over them, and also Florida's front court will be able to dominate Vanderbilt's front court. I think that SEC tournament game to me was more fluky than anything, to be honest with you. So I will have Florida advancing in that game to the Elite Eight, and then down to the bottom here, I'm going to take Houston to advance over Illinois. I think Houston will be able to defend at a very high level. If Emmanuel Sharp is struggling offensively, nothing like playing Illinois' defense to maybe fix that. So go ahead and advance them to the Elite Eight. Then we have Florida taking on Houston. Oh, I was so chalky yesterday. Florida's lost a lot of games this year. The SEC might not be that great.
I love I love that you're just doing this on the fly.
I'm gonna
Like,
take Houston.
wow.
Take Houston.
Last night, Gators were your pick to win it all.
Yep.
Wow.
I slept.
You did. Always sleep with the bracket.
Houston to the Final Four.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you got Duke and Houston locked in on the left side of the bracket. Keep
To the
going.
right side, shifting. Shout out to Gunna. Shout out to Young Thug. South to west, west to south, possibly. Arizona advances over Long Island. I have Utah State beating Villanova. That's Christian Ojek. Is it Ojekian?
Oh,
Oh,
Jack, Jin.
Ojakian. That's his fault. I saw a tweet about Villanova and what they have done in regulation against Ken Palm top 50 opponents. Not good. Not good whatsoever. Not a good record. I like this Utah State team. I also like the fact that Utah State thinks they were jobbed. I saw them get revealed. I saw their coach speak about it. He's pissed. He's pissed off. I like Utah State in that basketball game. Like MJ Collins, like Mason Falsev. Give me Utah State. Wisconsin, High Point. I'm gonna stick with it. I think High Point wins that game.
Whoa.
Call it, call me,
Selling the Badgers big, huh?
call me being negative. I'm sorry. I think there's gonna be way too much in this pod. One of these teams is gonna. We're all looking forward to Arkansas, Wisconsin. I don't think we're gonna get it. I think High Point's good enough to pull this off. I think that Wisconsin has a lot of volatility with all that shooty, shooty, shoot, shoot. Give me High Point to win that basketball game. Arkansas, Hawaii, another fun game. I'm gonna take Arkansas to advance in that one. BYU, I think they will take on Texas, and I think BYU will beat Texas in that basketball game. Give me BYU to the next round, taking on Gonzaga, who I think will win the Kennesaw State game. Give me Gonzaga to advance in that one. Miami, Missouri, 7-10 game. Still semi scared of that one. This was going to be one I flip back and forth on too. I'm going to go with Missouri to advance in that one. I might be fading the ACC outside of Duke in this tournament. I think that might be a thing for me. And if it bites me, it bites me, but I'm going to go with it. Then I have Purdue beating Queens in the next round to advance. Back to the top here, I have Arizona over Utah State handedly. I have Arkansas beating High Point also handedly. BYU taking on Gonzaga. I am going to take AJ DeBonsa legacy run. They will beat Gonzaga in the second round. I feel good about that. Ty and Garrett Foster can't check him. Moving down, we have Purdue taking on Missouri. I'm going to take Purdue in that basketball game. Back to the top, we have Arizona taking on Arkansas. Fun, 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 fun. Arizona advances in that basketball game. I think the defense will affect Arkansas a little bit too much, and they won't make enough shots in the basketball game. Then we have BYU taking on Purdue. I am going to pick BYU to advance in that basketball game. I think we are in for a legacy AJ DeBonta run. I was actually moved by their Big 12 tournament run. And all someone has to do is ask AJ DeBonta to go to the Elite Eight, and he'll go there. And I think someone should ask him. Then you have Arizona taking on BYU.
You have BYU in the Elite Eight.
At BYU in the Elite Eight.
Oh my God.
And then I have Arizona beating the brakes off of BYU. So Arizona advances to the Final Four. Moving down to the Midwest, we have Michigan taking on a 16 seed. They win. Then we have Georgia St. Louis. I'm gonna go back and forth on this one. Didn't like end of season St. Louis, but they are really good analytically and they're fun and their coach is a dog. I'll still go St. Louis. I'm a little bit scared in that one though, but I will go St. Louis. Moving down here, we have Texas Tech and Akron. I think there's going to be enough Christian Anderson, enough shot making. Give me Texas Tech over Akron, even though I know a lot of people like Akron in that game. Alabama Hofstra. Hofstra. Like jail. Jail's a thing. Karma's a thing. Karma's getting them. It's happening in front of our eyes. Hofstra in the Air and Estrada Bowl. Then we have Tennessee taking on SMU. I have Tennessee in that game. Sorry, SMU or Miami, Ohio. I think SMU will win, but I'll take Tennessee. Virginia, Wright State. Right after saying I'm gonna fade the ACC, I'm dealt this. I don't want to fade them too much now. Give me Virginia to advance. I'll take it Virginia to advance in that basketball game. Moving down, we have Kentucky, Santa Clara. If this was any other 10 seed that is currently in front of me on this bracket, I would pick them, not Santa Clara. I have Kentucky advancing in that basketball game. Then we have Iowa State, Tennessee. Give me Iowa State. Back to the top here, we have Michigan taking on St. Louis. I will take Michigan. Texas Tech versus Hofstra. I will take Texas Tech. Tennessee taking on Virginia. I will take Tennessee. Then we have Kentucky, Iowa State. I will take Iowa State. Back to the top here, Michigan taking on Texas Tech. I will take Michigan. I think the run comes to an end. Christian Anderson legacy game though, in a loss. And then we have Tennessee taking on Iowa State. I will take Iowa State in that matchup. Michigan, Iowa State to go to the Final Four. Michigan advances to the Final Four. So my Final Four matchup on one side, we have Arizona taking on Michigan. I will take Arizona in that basketball game. And then at the top here, we have Duke taking on Houston. I'm going to go with Duke in that basketball game. Duke versus Arizona for the national title. And Arizona is my national title pick.
Okay. All right. You feel good as you get through that?
Nope,
Not at all.
not even a little bit.
So many different. All right, as I listen to you do yours, I made 4 changes to my official picks, and I'm ready to officially lock mine in. Card, I still have to reiterate, I hate how 2 of these regions played out. Teams that I want to pick, like possibly to win it all, I just can't for reasons, and I'm very frustrated by this. But here we go. Let's start in the East. Duke over Siena. I think they roll. Ohio State over TCU. I have Bruce Thornton in that game, and it reminds me of the year Darius Morris made a round of 32 with Michigan. It was like
Mhm.
their first NCAA tournament win ever, and then they had Duke in the round of 32, and it felt insurmountable, and that game came down to the wire. I think Ohio State just will like break down Brock Harding, and as much as I like David Punch, that's a terrible matchup for them with how Bruce and Mobley have been playing. I'm going to go St. John's over Northern Iowa. I know a lot of smart people think that's a great matchup for Northern Iowa. Not me. I think St. John's is actually very good. And I think what they did to UConn twice this year matters even more than the one they got blown out in, where nobody could hit a shot. It was crazy. They're really deep. They've been really good for a while. And I think back even to the non-con for St. John's, right? They had some results that I think maybe look better now that we're at the end of the season than they did back then. That 1 point game against Iowa State on a neutral. It's like, okay, they played Iowa State very close, and Iowa State's elite. I think St. John's is underseeded. I got Kansas over Cal Baptist. That is one of the ones that I flipped. I initially did have Cal Baptist winning this game because I love their guards. And they got a guy that can go toe to toe and will relish the opportunity of going toe to toe with Kansas guards. But I think they just beat them up inside. I think they'll score too easily, and Kansas will get to 90 if needed through Flory Badunga and Bryson Tucker. I have South Florida over Louisville, but I am starting to get worried that the entire world has South Florida over Louisville. It's more fun to pick against Louisville when people like Louisville than it is when everybody wants to fade Louisville. But South Florida is good, and I think it's a pretty good matchup for them. Give me Hodgson and the boys. I have Michigan State over the team they don't remember the name of in the first round. Easiest opening round draw any 3 seed got. UCLA over Central Florida. I'm very surprised that you're just dismissing all things UCLA right now. Where did that come from? They look good in the Big Ten tournament.
I think they're beat up.
They're healthy.
Mm-mm.
Precautionary, very precautionary. I like Donovan Dent in that matchup over Themis Folks. And as badly as I want to pick against UConn in the first round, after digging more into the Furman matchup, I do think UConn is just simply too good at more positions of disadvantage for Furman. So give me UConn to the round of 32, where I have Duke beating Ohio State in a game that is too close for comfort for 20 minutes. And then Duke stretches it and Cam Boozer punks their bigs. I'm going to take St. John's over Kansas.
Ooh.
I think St. John's to the Sweet 16 is coming. I think Rick Pitino drinking a beer at the podium at the Big East tournament may be the sign that he really feels good about where this group is at right now. And I think they're going to out tough Kansas when they get into that moment and make Darren Peterson's life hell. I got Michigan State over South Florida, comfortably so. And I have UCLA beating the UConn Huskies. Donovan Dent against a UConn team with Silas Demery potentially not 100% or potentially unavailable. I think UCLA's bigs are going to be able to stretch out UConn's bigs. And I think as long as UCLA's 40% shooters make shots against a UConn defense that really struggles to contain dribble penetration, I love the matchup. I think this is wide open for a UCLA Michigan State rematch. In the Sweet 16, I have Duke over St. John's in blowout fashion. St. John's might not score 50 points in that game. And then I
Mm.
have Michigan State over UCLA in the third round of Michigan State UCLA. Little revenge for Jeremy Fears, and I think that team will show up motivated, and your bigs will get their revenge against an undermanned Xavier Booker front court. Duke over Michigan State in the Elite Eight, but please do let the record show that I picked Michigan State one round further than you did.
You did. You very much did.
Yeah, and Jeremy Fears against Duke would be fun. Round two again. I oddly enough, Shire to me the difference in a rematch.
Ooh.
I think Shire has a little bit of a legacy run this tournament, and in this region full of elite coaches, shows himself to be the elite of the elite right now. To the south, I have Florida over the 16 seed. I also have Iowa and Ben McCollum over Clemson. Just a good matchup for a coach I wish didn't get a good matchup here. But I think Bennett Sturts is going to be able to do whatever he wants. Clemson's not fully healthy, and I think Sturts is the best player on the floor in that game. I am going to take McNeese over Vandy. I think McNeese has a bunch of athletes that can bother a pretty small Vanderbilt team. And I like the whole narrative of them without Will Wade trying to go further than Will Wade took them.
Mm.
So we'll see. Give me McNeese over Vandy, which means I will be picking Nebraska over Troy. I think everyone's getting cute and listening too much to Sean Paul here. Love my guy, Sean Paul, but I did go read Sean Paul's analysis this week, and he wrote up like 8 of these games, and 7 of them he likes the underdog in. So give me Nebraska. They just need to rediscover their mid-February form. I still think they can. It's time for this program's best team ever to act like it. I have VCU over UNC. I agree with you. I like VCU's guards a lot in this game against a North Carolina team that really is going to have to rely on their front court and Vasar to punk VCU. But give me VCU to find answers. I like Illinois over Penn. I think that might be a 190 game, but Illinois can score 100 against a Fran McCaffrey defense in March. I like St. Mary's over Texas A&M. I think they are a death trap to play against. And this, as much as Bucky deserves credit for what he's done, his team has really fallen apart in the last month. I was looking at how they limped to the finish line here. They lost 7 of their final 11 games,
Mm.
haven't beaten a KenPom top 25 team. It's a gimmick system against a St. Mary's discipline you to death system. That's a Randy Bennett legacy game for me. And then I have Houston over Idaho by like 47 points. In the round of 32, I got Florida over Iowa, huge blowout fashion. I have Nebraska over McNeese, and I think Nebraska in the Sweet 16 will feel sort of like Purdue did a year ago, where we were like, whoa, they're not playing their best basketball, but they drew a 13 and a 12 seed to get there. And then all of a
Mm.
sudden you look up in the Sweet 16, you feel they got a shot against one of the best teams in the country. I like Illinois over VCU, blowout style as well. I don't think VCU has the size for that matchup. And then I like Houston over St. Mary's in a game that will be uncomfortably close, but Kingston Flemings takes over late against St. Mary's less athletic and smaller guards with Mikey Lewis. In the Sweet 16, I'm chalky. I have the top 4 seeds here. But I'm not chalky because Nebraska's beating Florida if this matchup comes to fruition. It's a big if. I get it, but I got to put my money where my mouth is. This is my Cinderella run of this tournament. I think it's the nightmare matchup for a Florida team whose guards can't shoot. And not only can they not shoot, but they want to shoot. A
Mm.
team that is full of guys that can't shoot, that want to shoot against Nebraska, it's the worst possible matchup. They will swarm those post touches. They will get beat up on the boards. They're going to have to battle there. But I don't think Condon, Chinyelu, and Haug are going to get anything easy against the Nebraska defense that just triple teams from everywhere. They are going to force Lee and Flan to make shots, and I don't think they will. Give me handsome Fred Hoiberg and the boys to pick off the Gators. I have Houston over Illinois. I would love to pick Illinois there, but I just can't get there. I think Houston is the tougher team, and I think Flemings has been a lot better than Wagler in the final month of the season. I have more faith in him to step up there. Then in the Elite Eight, Houston, Nebraska, give me Houston. I think this is where the legacy run comes to an end. Houston, a team that I feel like should really feel like a 1 seed by the time this tournament gets going, is the only 2 seed in my bracket to get there yet.
Okay.
More to come. Any thoughts?
I'm scared of you
Why?
because the confidence in your voice is jarring.
I feel really good about the left side of the bracket,
Yeah.
which is where I start to feel really bad.
Let's get to the right side.
I got Arizona over Long Island. I got Villanova over Utah State. I don't know why. I just feel like Willard owns me and made a good run last year. And I like a Caden. Wisconsin over High Point. I hear your concerns about like everyone thinks it's Wisconsin, Arkansas, and it won't be. Just not Nick Boyd, man.
No, okay.
Nick Boyd's too good. And in terms of matchup for that, I wanted to call this out. High Point's whole thing is predicated around forcing turnovers. They're
Mm.
the fifth best turnover forcing defense in the sport. Wisconsin's third in the country at avoiding turnovers offensively. So like I just think it's not the team High Point wanted to draw, a team that always takes care of the ball. Boyd will find a way. And then I have Arkansas rolling Hawaii. Really bummed. Even in the early round, I like High Point and I like Hawaii, just not in these matchups. And I'm very annoyed by that. Going down further, give me BYU over the 11 seed. But if Texas beats NC State, I won't be surprised if Texas beats BYU. I have Gonzaga over Kennesaw. I have Miami over Missouri. And I have Purdue over Queens. I don't have much to add with any of those other than I just think the better team is better in pretty much all of those matchups. To the round of 32, Arizona's size is going to really bother Duke Brennan and Villanova's front court. I just think it's a horrible matchup, and a Caden isn't the type of guard that can bomb you from three to beat you. Arizona in blowout fashion to the Sweet 16. I have Arkansas beating Wisconsin, and I've gone so back and forth on this because I really want to pick both teams to the Sweet 16 or further, and I just can't. I can't. I think Darius Acuff is better than Nick Boyd. And I think Billy Richmond is going to be a problem for Wisconsin's wings, like Andrew Rohde against him, trying to keep him off the glass. I think even Trevin Brazil against a not 100% Nolan Winter is a problem. The athleticism will show here. They can win an up and down game. And I just trust Arkansas more. Give me Gonzaga over BYU. BYU's defense has been 144th in the country since February 1st. That team can't possibly make a deep March run to me unless Devontae is going to go for 50 every single game. And then I got Purdue over Miami. Just not a team I'm worried about ball screen offense with. I don't think Purdue is going to be very tested early in this tournament. Sweet 16, I hate it so much. I probably am getting cute, but I'm going Arkansas over Arizona. And I hate it because if I had Arkansas or Arizona in Duke's draw, Arizona would be my national title pick. I don't think
Mm.
anybody on the left side of the bracket is a test for Arizona at all. I really think that highly of Darius Acuff right now. I just do. And I think Darius Acuff and Arkansas outplayed Duke in a matchup that feels awfully similar to me. And then they let that game slip late. They had a 9 point lead late in the second half. I just think Acuff's way better than he was in the non-conference right now. At some point in this tournament, Arizona's unwillingness to shoot threes is going to bite them. And if Acuff and Malik Thomas get hot, I think it could be this game. So give me John Calipari over Tommy Lloyd. Once I say that part out loud, I feel a little bit better about this. I got Arkansas to the Elite Eight. I have Purdue rolling Gonzaga in Braden Smith versus Braden Smith. And I don't think that's particularly close. I think Purdue got a perfect draw, and their offense is just going to put up 85 to 90 points against all of these teams. To the Elite Eight, where I see Purdue versus Arkansas. And once again, I think it opened up for Purdue. I'm going to put Matt Painter's squad into a Final Four here and think that they keep the momentum rolling.
Ooh.
If Arizona beats Arkansas or Wisconsin, I don't think Purdue can beat Arizona. So I really struggle with this because it was one of the two for me. Like whichever one might be the title pick for me. But I'm going with Arkansas for the upset, so I have to go for Purdue.
All
And I
right.
think in that game, discipline will be the difference. Like Matt Painter and the vets will sort of, I don't know, have some things for Trevin Brazil and the erratic nature of Arkansas.
That makes sense.
All right, to the Midwest, I have Michigan over the 16s. I have St. Louis over Georgia. I have Texas Tech over Akron. And you convinced me here. I have Hofstra over Alabama. Karma, Nate Oates, jail. Can't do it. This is Bediako's payback for that whole joke. And I think the more you look at Hofstra, they do fit the qualifications of the March Cinderellas that I really like to invest in. They
Mhm.
shoot a bunch of threes and they make 37% of them. They fly around on the offensive boards. They're top 100 in both offense and defense. They slow games down and play slow tempo. Less possessions is good for upsets. I think against Alabama's non existent defense that baits them into shooting threes, I think they're going to shoot a million of those. And well, I guess I'm sorry, I got that wrong, but it's a 3 point variance game, right? Against
Right.
Alabama. They can
Mhm.
win that game in a low possession game. Further down, I'm going Tennessee over the 11 seed, but I do want to make it clear I think Miami of Ohio wins that first game. I got Virginia over Wright State in the most boring first round matchup there is. I have Santa Clara over Kentucky. Not an endorsement of Santa Clara, but I don't like the vibes of Kentucky. And I think this team's ready for the season to be over. And I think at their first opportunity, they're going to bow out in a cowardly fashion. And I like Iowa State over Tennessee State big as well. Michigan in a really dicey second round game, like
Mhm.
a tie game with 4 minutes to go game against St. Louis. And they have to show their clutch gene, but I think they'll find a way to survive Robbie Avila. I'm going to go Hofstra over Texas Tech card.
Mm.
Yeah, if I'm going Hofstra over Bama, I think they can get a JT Toppinless Texas Tech as well. And I think this is where Cinderella returns to the NCAA tournament.
Any comment on the Eli Boddicker stat that Texas Tech was 17th on Torvik when he went out, and they still were the 17th best team in the country without him?
Yeah, I don't put as much stock into that as Eli wants me to.
Okay,
Arizona State, Kansas State, Cincinnati, TCU, Richie Saunders list BYU, and then 2 games against Iowa State.
fair.
They were great against Iowa State, but they just lost 3 straight games to end the season here.
Fair.
I'm not buying it. All right. Tennessee over Virginia. I like Jacoby Gillespie to have a nice little run, maybe a clutch shot late. And then I like Iowa State over Santa Clara into the Sweet 16, where Michigan is now incredibly fortunate to get Hofstra. I think Cinderella comes to die against Michigan. Their size just beats them up. I like Iowa State over Tennessee, and we get a 1 versus a 2 in the Elite Eight. I will take Michigan over Iowa State, but they scare me too. I won't be surprised if Iowa State is just the better team when we get to that matchup, but would have to hope Blake Buchanan gets outplayed by the Michigan Fives, and hopefully Morez Johnson can return to form defensively against Jefferson, which means I have Duke versus Houston and Purdue versus Michigan in the Final Four. Round three, Purdue, Michigan, in Indianapolis would be
Hmm.
something. I'm scared.
I don't know if we can allow that.
I got Duke over Houston. I think Duke is the better team with the better player. They will have the perimeter defensive answers for Flemings. They will have the size to bother Sanak, who fades away in matchups like that. And I think they get their get back. So many people are talking about Houston, Florida rematch. What about Duke Houston rematch in the same setting last year where Cooper Flagg's team crumbled? I think Cam Boozer's team doesn't, and his winning intangibles show up. Michigan Purdue round three is fascinating, but where's this game being played?
Indy,
And where has Purdue stunk this year?
Indy.
In front of their home crowd?
Yeah,
Huh. That's interesting. Would it be funny if the narrative we thought all along they just got to get to Indy is actually what ended up haunting them?
it'd be fitting for what happened during the regular season.
It'd be fascinating. I don't think that's why this result happens, but I do think Michigan would win round three.
Mm.
I think you saw Kaufman, Wren, and Clough play out of their minds and bully Michigan's bigs, and I just would not bet on that happening again. Um, which means I have Duke, Michigan for the national championship, a rematch of that neutral site game earlier in the year, and if we see it again, I don't think Michigan will have any answers for what caused them problems the first time. I think
Wow.
Cameron Boozer wins a national championship.
Wow.
Yep.
Only thought about that. I think if Michigan gets Duke in the national championship, I think Michigan gets them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think Yaxel will be special.
Really?
Yeah, I think in a National Player of the Year setting, because Cameron Boozer is the National Player of the Year, he actually gets outplayed by Yaxel.
I mean, I would love that. I trust the opposite so much more. Man, I keep closing my eyes and just thinking like, what do I picture at the podium at the end of this year? I just picture boring ass Cam Boozer and you being really annoyed. Like, hasn't that been the story? Like, this is Duke's seasons. Duke the team to beat because Boozer is just that good, and that's what I think is going to play out in this tournament. I don't think anyone's going to have an answer for him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Shire legacy run, Duke's time, all of it. All right, only two topics for today's episode because that took a while. So let's close the show with this one big thing presented by Tinker Coffee. What do you got?
But one big thing is that the madness is for everybody. We're not going to gatekeep the madness, okay? We're not going to be mean to people who maybe haven't watched college basketball all year. If you want to participate in the madness, go ahead and hop on in. We'll accept you with open arms.
Don't gatekeep the madness.
Don't gatekeep the madness.
Don't segregate the madness.
Do not segregate the madness.
Okay. Come on, come on.
Let the madness unify us.
Everyone can come for the madness.
Let the madness human centipede us.
Are you ever going to stop this?
Mm-mm.
You're just literally aura farming right now. You just want Eli to clip you and send you to Scrapple over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. My one big thing, my son's got some burst, and I don't know what to do with it.
So the steps are real. He didn't stop
Steps
doing
are
steps because he
real.
showed up.
My guy's running. He's running. It was like one small step turned into just sprints. He's doing sprints in the living room. Can't believe it. Terrifying. Proud of him. Love him. I don't know how to teach somebody with burst though.
Ah,
So what do I do as like the most slow-footed individual ever with a son who's showing some real burst?
I so here's the thing. Also, no burst. So you got to dip into some other friend group. Maybe TJ would be good for that.
Does TJ have burst?
He's built like he's got burst.
Yeah, he looks like he's got burst.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's the show. We'll see y'all tomorrow.